Shalom, my family. It's your girl T, aka the nappy headed jojoba. And it's Wednesday, and it's Vlogmas, which makes it What I Ate Wednesday. If you are new here, or if you just ain't watching my videos like I wish you would, you may not know what I Ate Wednesday is, but long story short, every Wednesday during Vlogmas, I'm doing what I eat in a day type of videos. I've done a treat day, I've done a regular degler day, and this is more or less another regular degler day. This time around, I did do a bit of meal prep. If you're part of my Not Vlog fam, you know I'm not a huge fan of meal prep. I find something incredibly depressing about those little individual containers of meals. I don't know what it is, but I know people love to post images of that on Instagram and Pinterest and stuff like meal prep life, but it really just bums me out. Nonetheless, I've been quite busy, seriously very busy with Vlogmas. It's definitely been quite a bit of work, so it's taken up a lot of my time, and I found it worth it to do a bit of a batch cook. This time around, I decided to make a turkey lentil chili. This is a recipe that I actually adapted from Noah Gluten. Some of y'all who remember me from Tasted know who Noah is. He taught me a lot about cooking actually in the time that we were working together, and he originally created a recipe similar to this. I have since adapted it to my preferences. The actual written out recipe is on my blog from ages ago, which would have to be from ages ago because I haven't updated my blog in months. So I'll leave a link to that post if you want to actually see the written out recipe and try to make it yourself. But other than that, it's just going to be, kind of a walk through what I eat in a day so you guys can get an idea of what I'm putting in my face hole with my lifestyle of generally avoiding sugar, dairy, grains, and soy. Even though the last What I Ate Wednesday as well as this one are both kind of regular days rather than treat days. This one's a bit different because you'll see that I'm not really eating Whole30 or paleo compliant meals. I do mostly avoid things like sugar, dairy, grains, and soy, but not all the time. And when I do have some of those foods, it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm cheating. Sugar, that's pretty much always a cheat. But having a bit of grains or something like that, I don't really necessarily consider that a treat unless I'm actually trying to do a Whole30 kind of structured protocol. Hopefully this will allow you to see a little bit more variation in the kinds of foods that I eat day to day when I'm not going off the deep end and putting cheese on everything. I do intermittent fasting daily, so I broke my fast with this kombucha. And then I went on to make some avocado toast. This is me slicing some tomato for that. I love to make mine with some heirloom tomato, and my secret ingredient is this Trader Joe's Everything But the Bagel seasoning. Because of this, I make better avocado toast than you. Here I am rolling a lemon because I always do this. It makes them easier to juice and it also makes it easier to get the seeds out. I'm going to season those sliced tomatoes with the Trader Joe's seasoning. And here I am just poaching a couple eggs, which I'm going to top my toast with. In very, very sexy slow motion, I'm putting my 2 slices of toasted bread down there on the board, laying the tomatoes on top of that. Couldn't quite fit 2 full slices, so I did 1.5 per. Obviously, you gotta have avocado for avocado toast, and I like to just slice through it first once I've laid it down so it's easier to mash once I get my fork out. I don't like to over mash, I just like it to be mashed enough so that it doesn't go flying off the toast when I try to eat it. Then I squirt some of that lemon on top of the avocado. Top with my poached eggs. Add some fresh cracked pepper. And that is avocado toast. I don't really think any of us needed a step-by-step, but this is what I eat in a day, so here we are. A bit later, I made a little drink that I've been enjoying lately, which involves this golden milk, which is a turmeric blend, which I'm hoping will help with my inflammation, as well as some of this Trader Joe's spicy chai tea latte mix. This does contain sugar, so I use about a third of what the recommended serving size is, because otherwise that would be an actual fuck ton of sugar. And then I also add 1 scoop of my collagen peptides, which will be linked under this video as they always are whenever I mention them. I've warmed up some almond milk and some coconut water on my stove, not to the point of boiling, just so it's hot. And then I add that liquid to the drink. Give that a nice stir. And because this is a YouTube video, here's the finished product with some nutmeg on top, which I have done 0 times before this, and I will probably never do again. This was only to make it look nice for this video. Next, it was time to make the chili, so here I am just doing my mise en place, chopping up all of my vegetables. This is some Swiss chard, which obviously wouldn't quite work with the chopper. And now I'm getting my pan hot, just tossing some fat in there and browning my turkey meat. Once that's cooked through, I remove it from my pot, and then I go ahead and brown my veggies, or at least some of them. Then I throw the meat back in, stir it up, add some tomato paste and stir that in. Adding my spices now, cumin, oregano. Mix everything to combine. Now I'm going to be adding 1 whole beer, 1 12-ounce beer. I'm using a lager. You don't have to do this step, but I have skipped it and I regretted it. It really does make a difference to how good the chili tastes in the end. Then I let that beer completely cook off, which takes a while because it was 12 ounces of liquid, so it does take a hot minute to fully cook off. Once it looks about like this, then I go in and add my squash, seasoning with salt and pepper, because for the love of Ray J, always season your food, please. I season pretty much at every step, so every time I add an ingredient, unless it's something pre-salted like the kidney beans that you'll be seeing from the can in a moment, I add salt and pepper and whatever other seasonings make sense for the dish. Stirring in my chopped Swiss chard, it's a lot easier to do once it starts to wilt a little. And here I am adding those kidney beans. Some chopped tomatoes, stirring that all in. And here I am adding some red lentils. Not Vlog Fam knows I always get from the bulk bin, so I went ahead and gave those a good rinse in my strainer and then added those to the chili. The lentils are awesome because they really give it a lot of body and heartiness that it might not otherwise have. Not to mention, lentils will help your poops go really, really excellent for you, trust me. Last but not least, I'm adding some chicken broth, about 2 cups. In my case, I'm using bone broth. Once that's at a nice gentle simmer, I cover it and I let it cook at least an hour, sometimes longer. And this is the finished product, and I was very happy to eat this chili And I'm still working on the batch. It's been a couple days and I still have some left, and it's just been so convenient for me to have made this big batch so that I can keep plugging away on all these videos for you guys and still have a healthful, nutritious meal. I like to top mine with some scallions, but you can top it with whatever you want. That is a wrap for this What I Ate Wednesday. Hopefully that gave you some good ideas of maybe some new dishes to try or something. And of course, once again, the chili recipe will be linked in the description box. So if you ask me for the recipe, I will block you. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow for another Vlogmas video. Bye-bye.
That's a nappy-headed horse there, I'm going to tell you that now.